During routine loading operations at a dock, a forklift was carefully transferring cargo onto the rear of a van. In a sudden and unexpected moment, the van moved forward, while the load was still on the forklift's tines. This caused the forklift to lose balance and tip off the edge of the dock. This incident highlights the critical importance of ensuring that vehicles remain stationary during loading and unloading operations. Operators should confirm that target vehicles are properly secured with brakes engaged and wheels chocked before transferring cargo. In an agricultural setting, a small three-wheeled truck carrying a large stack of hay caught fire. The vehicle, commonly used for local transport of agricultural goods, became engulfed as the dried hay ignited. A person on top of the load attempted to extinguish the flames, manually pushing burning hay downward in an effort to control the spread. Despite these efforts, the fire quickly spread across the hay, and the situation escalated due to the combustible nature of the material. The incident highlights the rapid ignition and propagation risks associated with dried hay and similar agricultural materials. This event emphasizes the importance of fire safety when transporting and storing highly combustible agricultural products. Operators and workers should ensure that hay and other flammable materials are kept away from ignition sources, including smoking, machinery sparks, or hot surfaces. Adequate fire extinguishing equipment should be available, and personnel should avoid placing themselves in precarious positions atop unstable loads. In Heilongjiang Province, China, at a construction site on October 10th, 2 workers were involved in a crane-related incident during lifting operations. The workers were positioned on the counterweight section of a mobile crane, acting as an improvised ballast while the machine was in use. During the lifting task, the load shifted and the entire crane tilted to one side. As the crane toppled, both workers were thrown from the elevated position to the ground. Workers must never ride on or manually act as ballast on lifting equipment. Counterweights and stabilizing components should be used as designed by the manufacturer, and load charts and stabilization procedures must be strictly followed. On January 7, 2024, a roadside CCTV camera captured a transport incident involving a vehicle carrier truck loaded with multiple cars. As the truck traveled beneath an overpass, the top vehicles made contact with the underside of the overpass. This incident emphasizes the importance of verifying clearance limits before transporting overheight loads. At an agricultural worksite, a heavy-duty truck loaded with a large quantity of manure was being operated. During movement, the structural integrity of the truck's body was exceeded by the weight of its load, resulting in a failure of the vehicle's frame. The truck's body separated under the excessive load, causing the cargo to spill and the vehicle to become inoperable. Heavy loads, particularly of organic materials with high mass such as manure, place significant stress on vehicle frames and suspension systems. Strict adherence to load capacity guidelines helps prevent structural failures and maintains safe conditions for workers and bystanders. In a maritime operation involving a dredge barge, an overloaded vessel experienced a structural failure while underway. The barge's hull fractured, splitting into 2 sections as a result of stresses that exceeded its structural limits during the dredging activity. The incident has drawn attention within the professional marine community and was documented in video footage shared publicly, highlighting the importance of load management and vessel condition assessments. Barges and similar vessels must be operated within their rated capacity, and regular inspections should confirm that hull structures, welds, and supports are sound before and during operations. Dredging contractors and vessel operators should implement formal load monitoring procedures, and crews should be trained to recognize early signs of structural stress. By maintaining rigorous standards for vessel maintenance and operational limits, marine incidents can be prevented and crew safety upheld. On a roadway in the Montaña Alta area of Gran Canaria, Spain, a loaded truck experienced an unexpected handling event while ascending a steep incline. The vehicle was carrying an unusually heavy tube on its rear platform. As the truck climbed, the substantial rear weight caused the front wheels to lift off the pavement, resulting in a wheelie-type motion. With the vehicle's front end elevated and control reduced, the driver attempted to correct the course. In the course of regaining control, the truck made contact with a parked local police patrol car. This incident demonstrates the critical importance of proper load assessment and distribution when transporting heavy or irregular cargo. Operators and logistics teams must ensure that loads are balanced within the vehicle's design limits and that weight does not shift the center of gravity in a way that compromises stability. A transport incident was captured on dashcam involving a heavy trailer loaded with multiple new vehicles. As the trailer descended a narrow two-way road, the driver experienced a sudden failure of the braking system. The trailer became difficult to control, and in an effort to minimize further risk, the driver steered toward a roadside flower bed. As the trailer's movement continued, it toppled onto its side and struck a nearby minivan. Occupants of the minivan were forced to jump out of the vehicle to avoid potential harm. Fortunately, the minivan sustained only side damage, and no one was injured. The trailer and the 5 brand-new Toyota Prado SUVs it was carrying suffered extensive damage. Drivers and logistics personnel should confirm that all vehicle systems, particularly brakes, are fully operational before departure. In a training or logistics environment involving armored vehicles, an Israeli Army main battle tank was being driven onto a transport trailer when an unexpected loss of balance occurred. Video circulating on social platforms shows the tank's tracks beginning to climb the trailer's ramp. At a critical point in the maneuver, the tank lost stability and tipped, ultimately flipping upside down. The driver and crew members were able to exit the vehicle, and reports indicate that any injuries sustained were minor. Local military authorities secured the scene and initiated a review of the circumstances, focusing on trailer alignment, ground conditions, and safe loading procedures for heavy armored vehicles. This incident underscores the importance of strict adherence to approved loading procedures when moving heavy armored vehicles. Operators and support personnel must verify that ramps are correctly positioned and rated for the vehicle's weight, that ground conditions are stable, and that the approach angle allows controlled movement without compromising balance. Conducting a pre-operation safety brief, confirming wheel or track alignment, and using guides or spotters can reduce the risk of loss of control, protect crew members, and preserve valuable equipment during transport operations. In July 2023, a forklift was transporting pallets of laminate flooring at a commercial market area in Erzurum, Turkey. A boy was present near the forklift during the maneuver. As the vehicle turned, the load shifted and became unstable. The boy moved toward the pallets, apparently attempting to prevent them from falling as they tilted. The load collapsed during the operation. Forklift operations require controlled work zones that exclude pedestrians from moving loads. When a load becomes unstable, personnel should move to a safe distance rather than attempting to intervene. Only trained operators should manage material handling equipment, and clear separation between equipment and bystanders is essential to prevent fatal incidents.